There are so many things I love about this show, but more than anything, I love how we've been able to help so many people. And we have an amazing group of people that work here that make that possible. Take a look.
The human interest team, I think, is a really special part of this show. If you were to tell someone what your job is, it's like we get to help make people's days better.
I've always felt like I was really, really lucky to be part of a team that gets to help put people on this show and change their lives.
As soon as I knocked on that door, whatever weight was on that person's shoulders was about to be lifted.
There's an Ellen effect. Every single time that a guest comes on the show, I watch the entire trajectory of their life change.
They want to give Whitney Elementary School $100,000.
For the people that are coming on the show, it's probably like one of the best days of their lives. So like, how lucky am I that like I go to work and get to be part of so many best days?
What we set out to do at the beginning was an entertainment show, and we had to be funny. We didn't follow news. We didn't bring any of that into our show.
Our lives changed with the beginning of the second season, which is when Hurricane Katrina hit Ellen's hometown.
And she was like, we got to do something about it.
Look at this on the left. It looks like a war zone. Things like this happen, we all feel helpless, but I want to remind you of what we can do and remind you of the positive things that are going on out there.
Ellen's helped raise over $10 million for New Orleans.
And that changed the soul of the show.
What's your name?
Diana Beasley.
Hi, Diana. Where do you live?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
How'd you make out?
Well, I lost everything, but I have my family.
You know, it's the Act 7 or late in the show, and we announce the car to her. She's out of her mind. She goes over, she sits in her new car, and we're going to break. It's the end of the show. It's very loud, can't hear anything. And she goes, "God bless you, Ellen." And Ellen says, "God blesses me every day."
God does bless me every day.
Getting to surprise people never gets old. It really never gets old.
I think the best part of the job is when we know what's about to happen and the guest doesn't know.
That's the other fun thing, is that like all I do all day is lie, but for good.
When I first started here, we would give people like a check for $1,000, and that was like the big gift.
People nowadays know that the checks on the Ellen Show are like this big. They're humongous. And I found a photo recently. It was Darrell and his students, and they were holding up a check that was this large.
But then, I mean, how lucky were we that we then were able to give away $25,000, $50,000, $100,000. We gave somebody $1 million. Like, we gave a family $1 million.
Another fun part of my job is standing backstage and holding a giant check, getting ready to run it out. But before that, I listen to this person's entire story, and I feel it. Every time I'm holding the check, I'm like, yep, this is a deserving person.
I really will never forget Kirby McKenzie, the librarian,
We bought you a bookmobile.
and watching her get surprised by the bookmobile. And it like blew my mind that this was all happening just because I had made a phone call like 3 weeks before that.
One of my favorite memories was the story of a little 6-year-old boy who was born with only half of his heart, Tate Anderson.
Come sit with me.
And we've been able to help their family a lot over the years.
The connections just are so meaningful. We develop relationships with these individuals, and we've stayed in touch with them for years.
Kids that I've had on the show 10 years ago, I'm seeing them graduate high school.
Like on my desk right now is a wedding invitation to like a guest's wedding. And so yeah, so we become like family. My favorites for sure, Macy Hensley. I met her when she was 5 years old, and she was this like quirky, adorable presidential expert. And I remember Zooming, because we Zoom all of our guests ahead of time to see what they are like. And I remember she said to me, "He swam naked in the Potomac." And I remember thinking, oh my God, I can literally picture her saying this to Ellen. And like, sure enough.
Who's this?
John Quincy Adams. He swam naked in the Potomac.
That's the line that like got her 22 appearances. We got to do so many cool things. I got to go to the White House with her. People in this room who are filming this right now have gone on these trips with her.
We had pillow fights. She would make our cameramen wear silly wigs or hats, and we would do anything to keep her happy, and we watched her grow up.
I think Ellen's legacy is going to be the people she's helped. One of our season premieres, we went to Moore, Oklahoma after the tornadoes hit. We were able to help 2 elementary schools. Those schools, for as long as they're standing, they've felt the sort of the touch of the Ellen Show and of Ellen, and I think that's going to be long lasting.
And then the people who have then taken that kindness that they receive from her and spread it out in the world, like she says, at the end of the day, I do think people will do that.
It's a domino effect. She changes one person's perspective, and who knows what they go out to the world and what change they create.
As Ellen would tell our audience, if you can help someone, help them because it also feels good to do that.
For the people that sit and watch our show, when they see us go to somebody's door in Toledo, Ohio, or when they see a teacher get recognized, they can see themselves in those people. And the reality is that when you watch TV and you see yourself, you connect and you think, what can I do to help?
Thank you to my incredible staff for allowing me to change so many people's lives. We'll be back.